All right, guys, Durante Parks here. Today, I'm going to share with you our TBS system, our actual 6-in-1 website configuration. All right. So first, let's look at the actual pages and the content that's on it. It actually has 42 content pages, a contact page, an appointment and scheduling page. There are 37 forms for various types of applications. We have 9 blog posts, 25 premium plugins. You actually have a membership script for broker registrations where you can actually turn it into a membership site for brokers. We have 3 fee-based services. These aren't free. They are fee-based services with sales pages. And of course the broker registration form also. Now, in terms of the actual domain, the actual sites that are on it, you have the commercial real estate financing site. That's for basically selling commercial loans either to others as a fee-based business, or you can use the resources for your own acquisitions. And then number 2 is the business financing website. The neat thing about business financing is that they're basically hard money loans except for SBA financing. And it kind of expands way beyond the real estate sector because you have operating capital, lines of credit, equipment financing, even factoring. And the other thing is that the business financing transactions close a lot faster. Because if a company individual contacts you and they need operating capital, it's on a Monday, and it needs operating capital, yes, what is it you need the operating capital for? And it tells you he needs the operating capital to meet his payroll on Friday. Those loans have to close fast. And that's what's neat about business financing. The numbers aren't that big, maybe up to 10, 15 million, 500,000, 10,000, but they're fast deals, and it's a good way to learn the actual processes involved in commercial loans. And business loans give you more resources and products that you can actually monetize. 3 is our joint venture site. Now, this site you use to joint venture and put joint ventures together is one we use where I'll help you purchase your multifamily property. I'll secure the financing, I'll negotiate the deal, I'll do the LOI, I'll talk with the realtors, deal with the realtors, with you, and I'll run the numbers, and all you have to do is find the properties that I tell you, and in return, what I want from the deal is a 10% equity position, and I turn my equity into debt. I don't want to be on a title. So on $1 million deal, that's basically a $100,000 mortgage. And I structure it on a 10-year schedule at 0 interest. And I do as many of those as you would like to do. So we have a website specifically for that. Number 4 is a local property flipping funnel. It's for used to attract cash buyers. When you use the local property flipping process, we have a course that goes with it. It tells you exactly how it works. Is you don't need a lender to do this. You don't need the real estate to do this. You don't need any of that to start. And what you end up with is several cash buyers, and then you simply go out into the market and look for what they're looking to purchase. And we simply make offers on it less than, instead of what we don't do is you don't ask the buyer to come up with more money, and we simply ask the sellers to take less. So typically you're looking at 6 figures here within 30 days or less, because you don't need a lender, you don't need approvals, and it's just a real fast transaction, and it works best locally. Number 5 is a commercial property buyer site. You use this website to make offers on properties. Strategy we use, we make offers on properties, we make full price offers on income properties, not just commercial properties. And there's a strategy behind that. All right, the strategy is revealed, and basically what we're doing is we're forcing a refi through an acquisition. It's called making money making offers. You make offers, you make money. And number 6 is my favorite, is our large project funding website. Now, all of these we've integrated into one website, and we're going to look at that. So in terms of the actual site content, the loan programs, you have 4 commercial real estate loan programs, 3 hard money loan programs, 2 business financing programs. That means you got 2 lenders, and there's a reason for that, because you can run ads, and with the business portals, you don't even have to talk to the clients. That's what's cool about it. With the real estate deals, you're going to have to. But with the business portals, you don't even have to talk to the client. You simply drive traffic to the web page. And large project funding program, those programs are basically go up to 100% financing, but they basically start at $50 million. Now, I would really love to joint venture with someone who can bring a $100 million solar project to the table. You don't have to do it by yourself. I'll joint work with you on that, because they're a little tricky. You know, it's not conventional financing, but you have that website in here also, in that program. Training courses, you have a financing masterclass where you can learn all of these things that I'm talking about. The straight line sales course, it helps you to learn how to sell yourself and your services and how to price them appropriately. And then we have the local property flipping course, and the site that goes with the course. In the loan programs, we have the straight line sales course, which teaches you how to sell your stuff. And then the local property flipping course. Now, the software that comes with the package, with the website, is the financing masterclass. The software is the financing document creator. It's the software for creating all of the documents to do all of the things that I've talked about. And there's the persuasion course, the art of selling. It's a science behind it, and you want to learn it and know it, so when you're dealing with people, you can pick up the signals and know how to set the sales up, and then ultimately the objective is to close. It's called straight line persuasion. All right, so that's included in here. And then what can you actually do with these websites? All right, it's a good question. Well, you can sell commercial real estate loans, sell business lines of credit, sell business equipment financing, even SBA financing, and you can sell business acquisition financing. Now, when you do business acquisition financing, one of the things you want to integrate into your repertoire is the ability to profit from the processes. And in a lot of cases, you should be able to even ask for equity in those businesses. All right. And the make money making offers is where we actually make offers to make deals. If you don't make offers, you don't make deals. Deals aren't found, they are made. And with this making offers, we force the deal. In other words, we don't go look for it, we create the deal and the opportunity. And we do that on making offers on in the niche portion of it. They're full price offers, number one. And so we don't have any objections from our sellers. Full price offers, but we structure terms. And we can shoot these offers out in 5 and 10 minutes. So you can go to a place like LoopNet, identify the properties that you want, and you can have offers out on them in 5-10 minutes. The software that's included gives you the ability to do that. And you can do the local property flip for cash buyers, structure joint ventures with investors, and then you have services that you can actually sell. You can make a lot of money selling services by profiting from the processes. Because if you only focus on closings, then you may take you 45 days to get a deal closed. You don't make a dime. But when you integrate this process profiting and you profit from the processes, and you get paid to play. And if there's a closing, you get paid again. And if there's not a closing, you got paid anyway. That's called getting paid to play and not playing to get paid. Okay. And then you have the LOI creation service. And of course, you have the large project funding also. So we're going to log in and we'll take a look at this and show you what the front end of it looks like of the actual websites here. And this website has 6 websites built into it. All right. So we're going to just scroll down. Now, this consent, cookie consent, you want to get one of these on your site because you can get fined big time for not having it. All right. You have to give the individual the option to opt in or out, to accept or reject your preferences. You have to tell them this. Now, a lot of people don't know about this, but you can get in a lot of trouble, get hit with some pretty heavy fines for not having this cookie consent on your website. All right. Now, back to the site. So this is the front page. Okay. These are the loan programs. It's a pretty basic site on the front. Everything's lean and clean. The programs, types of properties we finance, what we do, what we don't do. You just, pretty lean and straightforward. And FAQs. The sites are set up to perform results. For people who you can help, you want them to take action. And those who you can't help, well, you want them going down the road. That's what the site's for. All right. So it looks like this. That's the page, the front page. Now here you have these programs. You got real estate financing programs. You have a business financing here. All right. And it's integrated in, and all they have to do is apply. Here's a summary of the actual program. Your lines of credit up to $500,000, business loans up to $15 million, equipment financing up to $5 million. And there's a summary of the terms. Some of them are zeroed down. Then we have a credit builder program, which I don't really use that. And then you have fast capital, and that's from $1 to $500,000. But that's your first business program. In other words, you're working here with that program. You're working directly with a lender. You aren't brokering through us. And you have your own back office and your portal that's set up. Your second business lender gives you an actual portal here also. And what's interesting about these portals is what's going on the back end. As your client or person enters the loan amounts, the loans are being processed in real time in the background. So this is your second one. So what do you need 2? Because you're going to run ads and drive them to the different pages. That's why. So you have one lender, because when you talk to these lenders, some of them love equipment financing. They just love it. They just like it. You have others that specialize in lines of credit. So what you do, you work with the lender based on what he likes to do. And then you just run ads. For business, for the equipment financing, you simply run ads straight over and drive them straight to your website. Because you're bringing the lender what he actually will do, not just what you want him to do. All right. So you have those 2. And then here you have a large project funding site. Now, I like to do this with you guys. If you get one of these sites, this is it's like the Moby Dick stuff. In other words, I have the financing in place. I need the projects. If you can find the projects, start at $50 million. I have the financing, and we can do a joint venture. Really, seriously, let's do this. All right. Now to do this, you definitely need to have one of the sites, but this is all built in here, so you'll have everything you need. And then under your services, you have free consulting. That's to open the door to establish a rapport and to start talking to people. So they come here and they're basically going to tell you what it is they want to talk about and schedule a time. And all you do is show up. with some answers and address the issues here. So it's not anything cold calling. You know in advance what the issues are. Now these are services that you can sell. When I mentioned about process profiting, you can determine that any person that submits a loan that's requesting over 80% LTV, 85% LTV, you can require that those loans have to be packaged. And there are some benefits to that, having the loans packaged, the pros and the cons. And here you don't really have a order button to order because it's dynamic pricing, which means the person will call you and you have the option of being able to sell the program for $500 or for $1,500. And that's why that straight line training program is so important, so you know how to actually monetize your services. So that's that. It's kind of like having a resume service for a job. You prepare the resume, but but that doesn't determine whether or not the person's going to get the job. It's just that the resume was required as part of the process. The loan packaging is the same thing. So you can offer loan packaging, and for deals over 80 up to 90% LTV, you can require that they be pre-underwritten, and that's $3,500 to $4,500. So you price these things based on what you're able to sell. So in terms of value, you determine a lot of you determine what the value is in your report. Deal analysis is an opportunity for people to get a second look at documents, fresh set of eyes, and it gives you an opportunity to see what other programs and lenders are doing. And what you do here is you're going to just talk with people, look at their documents, and basically make some recommendations. And typically you look at the terms on the deals, and you're not looking to convert them into a client. You're looking to help them by looking at their package and terms, and in some cases you just advise them on what to do, and as part of doing that you establish that rapport, and in some cases those clients end up working with you instead. So it's just helping people do what they're trying to do. The LOI creation is a service that you can actually sell and market, because the benefit of using an LOI versus the contract, the LOI is not legally binding, 1, and it doesn't require any money, 2, and it does the same thing that a contract does, 3, without the obligation or the liability of the contract, which is interesting. So you can have people who have paid me $3,000 to $4,000 to write up LOIs for them to submit on properties. Has nothing to do with the financing. It's a whole separate service, kind of like the loan packaging here, but it's once you understand the financing game and you have the tools to do it, you can actually offer the LOI as a service, a fee-based service. It's not a free-based service. It's fee-based, and it has a sales page just as the other one site. You want them to call. Your conversions and effectiveness here is going to be on the phone. So these are going to be phone sales. So to do that, you're going to need a virtual terminal, or otherwise you can invoice people. You can do it that way also. All right, so that's what you have under the services. And then here's the blog, and you'll think you have about 9 blog pages on here. Content is king here. You have a blog here. Now, and you have a contact page. Now, and you have a login. Now, the login is optional if you want to set up a membership site for brokers or sell some of the other products that we've built in here. You can activate this. All right. So you have fast applications, brokers register here. You have a course here where you can take the master class, and we put it in the portal and you can market it as a course of your own. Of course, you get 100% of the profits from that. Now, here under Investor Services, this links to your income buyer site. If you click here, and this is the site we use when we make offers on properties. This one. And it's pretty straightforward. Guidelines. This is what your buyers and investors will see. So we know what we're doing. So we have given them a website that's established credibility to them that we do what we say we do. So we have this website that does that. Types of properties we desire, what we do, what we don't do. All of that's in here, an actual submission process here. So that's in the investor site. So we use this site when we go out to LoopNet and make those full price offers. We shoot them from this website here. This is where we drive people back to. All right. Now, other resources here. This joint venture program. Now, this is the program you can do with investors, whether they're single-family home investors or commercial investors. And the deal is relatively simple and straightforward. It's just once you know how to do it, it's an easy sale. So you set the framework on it, and the way it works is I'm going to help you, or you can help me. Let's say I'm going to help you go from residential to commercial. Basically what I want to do is I want to do all of the legwork. I want to do the heavy lifting. I'm going to secure the financing. I'm going to negotiate the deal. I have the lender. Now I'm picking up points on this, but that's not your concern. I'm going to tell you what types of properties to get, what not to look at, what to look at, and all I need is the year-to-date income expense statements and a rent roll. And I'll take care of the financing. I'll make sure the terms, I'll negotiate all of that out. If I need to have to talk with the realtor, I'll do that with you. The LOI that we make on the property will be in your name. I am not on title with you on the property. In return, what I want is a 10% equity position without ownership. I'm taking my 10% equity and I'm going to secure this debt. The visual on this is that, and I set the parameters, or you set the parameters here. So on $1 million property, let's just say we want the first deal you want to do with me is $1 million. Then I'm going to require 10% of the $1 million, which is $100,000. I'm not going to be on title. I'm going to secure that $100,000 as debt. The structure on the debt is going to be for 10 years at 0 interest, fully assumable, non-qualifying. Now you can stick assumption fees in there, and I even will subordinate to a second or even third position, and I have 25 prepayment points. The prepayment penalty. Why? You say, why 25? Why would you want to pay off a 0 interest loan? You need to pay to be, you need to pay for that. You know, that's a seminar you need to have. There's no reason to pay off a 0 interest loan. So what it gives me is a note that for the asking, free equity. You said, but it's a 0 interest note. Yeah, but I pulled it out of the air. Don't forget that. Then put a dime in the deal. I put cash out. We call them paper capers. We convert white paper to green paper. That's all I did. And I did it all for the asking. I didn't put a dime in it. But what I did bring as value, I used my knowledge. I negotiated the deal, secured the financing, and lined up all of the pieces and controlled the closing so this deal would close. And I can charge a $10,000 commitment fee and refund the commitment fee at closing. All right, so that's what this site's for. It's under the JV. All right. Now, the last thing here is this apprenticeship program, and this is optional. If you want that, you have an application here for your people to apply, and of course, under your apprenticeship program, depending on how you structure it, you can integrate your apprenticeship program with your JV program. All right. So that's what we have here on this site. So you have the services, the loan programs. See, under the real estate financing programs, you have in here, you have general loan terms, types of properties we finance, and real estate loans from 1 to 25 million, because you have different lenders that do different types of deals. You know, there's no one box fits all. And then you have the business loan programs here. Okay. And then you have a little bit about hard money loans, what they are, how they work, and stuff in here. The different types. You want to know about this when you're talking with your clients, give them options. And then, of course, you have here the, you know, they want to submit a deal. We got a smart application in here. But it just tell us about your deal, you know, what you're looking for, what you're trying to do. And then we have the schedule a call, or they can actually apply here. All right, so that's what we have in this master site here. All right, so that's what the front end looks like. Now, the big boy here is a large project funding, because you could do one of these deals, just one, and be done for the rest of your life. All right. Now, I have the funding, but I would really love for someone to go out and bring in the projects, because even though we're doing green and clean energy, we could also do data centers. All right. And the thing about this, these projects go up to 100% financing. Now, so that's what we have going on here. So what does that look like? See, if you can find a project, I have the financing, then we can joint venture on this. So on a $50 million deal, that's a $5 million payday. On a $100 million deal, that's a $10 million payday. It's just a 50-50 split. That's at 1%. I usually negotiate 1.5 or 2% on this stuff, and equity, okay? And on a $200 million deal, it's a $10 million payday, 50-50 split, that's $5 million for you. $5 million for me. That's pretty cool. This is what you have the opportunity and the potential to do with this website. Because even though you have the site, there's this opportunity that's, you know, not so obvious. So let's go look in the back office and show you how that works here, because the tools for doing all of these things are actually in the back office. Oh, no, that was wrong. Yeah. Okay. So the back office has all of the training and resources for actually doing this stuff. Okay, let me fix it. All right, so we get into our back office like this. And what we have in here are all of the tools for actually implementing the things we talked about and showed you on the front end. All right? So this is your virtual office back here. And what we have in here, and here's this software for making those, shoot those offers out, the LOI creator. And you can, the thing about this is that you can create these documents, and you can store them on your server like this, and all it is just fill in the blanks. It'll create the document and everything. You pick the states, even the terms, you know, down here, and it actually creates the document for you. And once you create the document, you can look at, you can save it, like here. This is a triple net portfolio. And if you want to edit it, if you want to preview it, what do we do? Edit. You want to edit it here, and it was, this portfolio was $20,500,000, and it was subject to the seller refinancing the property. And then here's where we put in the terms. And that's the key to the offers, are the terms, not the price. It's the terms. But you're able to save them here, and you can take a preview of it, of the document here. It's a little bigger. It's bigger. Yeah. So it's a 5-page document, and that's pretty much what your LOI looks like. So you can pop out 4, 5, 6 of these easily using the strategies, but on the back end that we teach you how to do. Got it? Here's a consulting agreement. You should get an agreement with anybody you work with. You want to make that part of your SOP, standard operating procedure. Because if I won't sign and agree to your agreement, I'm not going to pay you. And that's the red flag. And there's absolutely no reason for me not to execute an agreement with you if what I'm telling you is so. But if you don't ask or you don't have the agreement, you probably won't ask. You won't get an agreement. And you want to do that. Why? Because I can do deals. You can do deals and not get paid. I've done that. You don't want to do that. That's easy to do. So you want to integrate that. So you have all the tools over here for doing all of those things. Same with the LOI creator, certification letter. You use this to trigger discounts on payoffs. It's pretty cool because it doesn't. Your name's not on it anywhere, and the only person gets it is a closing agent. So if it was a $2 million note, it's going to get paid off. You simply ask the guy what would it take for it, and he said 1.8. He said, "Is that the best you can do?" And he said 1.9. Then he said, "Is that the best you can do?" Then he says 1.8. Then the $2 million note that is going to get paid off is going to pay off for 1.8. So you create this document. It's called a certification letter, but it's basically an option to purchase, but it doesn't say that. So he puts in here his stuff that he agreed to sell it to you, and you simply get it. It has to be notarized, it's, I don't have one made. But the point being here is that's what this document's for, and you can actually save these documents on your server also, right? And then you have the contractor's agreement. That's when you're dealing with a lender who he says he'll pay you, but he doesn't have an agreement. He said trust him and all that stuff. Well, you create the agreement and present it to him. If I tell you I want to pay you 2 or 3%, and I'm not willing to sign your agreement, it's a red flag for you. I'm telling you, I have no intention of paying you. I want you to work for free. Okay? So the FDC, the document creator, gives you these tools to do the things that we talked about on the front and back end of the website. So you have where you connect with your business lenders. Everything is kind of straightforward, step by step here. Here are the training courses. And if you notice, the first thing you should do is plug into your lender funnel. Because when you do that, you'll get a funnel of access like this from the lender. Now, in order to do that, you're going to have to present some stuff. You're going to push a little paper. You're going to want some ID, driver's license, EIN number, and some stuff. If you're not ready to do it, you don't have to, because the site will come set up where you'll be linking through my link. As you see here, right here says referral link. This is what I give you. When you sign up, you get your own portal, because you don't want to broker business loans. They're hard to do that. Some people do it. I'm just telling you, you don't want to do it. And for us and for you, this is about empowerment. All right? And then you launch a campaign. That's why you do this first. If you talk to the lender, you go do business loans, you just copy and paste the loans, the ads themselves. Okay? And then what you do next is you come down here and you go to the classified ad section, and you can download all of the listings, or you can go to Craigslist or some place and start running some ads. Of course, you can do it on Facebook Marketplace, wherever you want to. But the thing is, you want to drive the traffic to your website. Most importantly, this is very simple stuff to do. Here's a video on the tour of the virtual office. This one is about paper and how to structure this deals. It's like you either help me. You want to know how to do this, guys? You either help me, help you, or you help me. And it's a lot in that. And it's on how to structure deals and joint ventures with people. And then here are some of our websites. You know, some are available for rent, for sale, or for use. And then the study courses, the Straight Line Master Class is here. It's a 9-hour course. It's no, you know, the value is in the package. The course is here. 9 hours of deep dive training on this stuff here. You know, you just have to hit it and get it, you know, and lock down. There's some really good content here. We're going to talk and get. Okay, so we don't want to crank that up. All right, so you have the courses in here under the training. Go back. Go to the dashboard. Get out of here. And then you have the courses. You have a lender marketplace. Now, the back office, the value and the power in the back office is more powerful than the website, because without these tools and this training, you won't be able to do any of the things on the website. But with these tools and with this training, you can do all of the things that you see on the front end of the website. This is a training course by Jordan Belfort, the Wolf of Wall Street. You come in here and learn how to sell your stuff. That's what this is about. Selling your stuff. Pricing your stuff. This course is about 9 hours too. So the value and the time you want to spend is going to be in learning. Alright? And then here's a local property flip course. This works with that website, that flipping funnel site. And it's not a long course at all. Maybe 4 hours. But it's a process that you want to understand. Alright? So it's all in here. And then here's the software tutorials. Long packages software, you download it here. Because you can sell these things. It's just a service that you have. You know, so you want to learn how to sell this stuff. If not, you'll just be looking to close loans. And if your loans don't close, you don't make no money. That don't feel good. All right. And then here's a marketplace for your marketplace lenders. Because you can have several marketplace lenders. You don't have to use one lender. If you got a project that your lender won't do, you want to know how to find them. We got sources in here for that, where you just click it and get it. You don't have to do much searching here at all. And a little introduction to what marketplace lenders are, how does that work. And then you have a business lending marketplace also, you know. So it's a lot of resources for getting stuff done, pretty much. And then you have niche lenders here, research resources, set up your closings, escrow agents, title companies, vetting and due diligence tools, how to check folks out. We had a project last month, $240 million for a steel manufacturing plant. And 2 days ago, the guy gets locked up for some RICO stuff, fraud, stealing money, millions and millions of dollars. You want to vet your clients, seriously, before you invest a whole lot of your time. Know who you're working with. And these are just other courses, topics that I dealt with in web schools. You learn about your website. Here you got these advanced strategies. Now, you want to, if you want to go here, if you guys can do this, you want to come here and let's play this game here. Because I even had a lender for this, but we do this thing here together with this. And then the apprenticeship program. So that's pretty much what's actually on this website. All right. And remember, it's an all-in-one website. And it's the you got 6 sites in one. And that's what it looks like. Now, how do you get them? How do you get one? Well, what you do is at the bottom of this video, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a link to the instructions on how you can get it. So that's how you would do that. You would look at the bottom of this video and check out the pricing on it. I'm not mentioning pricing because my job was to present the content and not the pricing. All right. Thank you. Check it out. You like what you see? Hey, jump in. Let's do some of those big deals there. Would love to do that with everybody. One big deal with everyone would be really cool. All right. Thank you, guys. See you on the inside, hopefully.